Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here to work on, I call her Vampire Girl. Now, a lot of my older stamp sets, they had specific names, and this one here came in a set with the Witchy Girl that I did a few weeks ago. So there was two of them in one set, and I just love them both. And this is like perfect timing because it's going to come out, it's going to be all done just before Halloween. Now, I'm leaving this first part of the coloring to show you what I mean that it feathers out. Now, I'm going to have to redo this girl because where the her hair comes to a point on her forehead, that is totally gonna feather out and it's gonna make a huge mess. And I was like, okay, just start a new one. And then instead of making you watch again me coloring her face and her hair, I just cut that out and I kind of started up again where I was just kind of fixing her hair. And let's talk about the colors that I use. So the first part of this, I'm using Copic markers. So for her face, I use E000, then E00, E21, E11, and R20. Her hair, I use E43, E44, E47, and E49. Her cape and shoes, I use C0, C1, C3, and C5. Her dress and bow, I use BV 0000, then BV 000, BV 10, and BV02. The socks are RV00, RV02, and RV13. And usually what I do is I start with the lightest color, most of the time, start with the lightest color, and then I go to the darkest one. And then once I have that color down, then I go back to the lightest and just blend it in. This was, again, so fun to do. Now, you're going to see that I end up coloring the cape in two separate ways. So this one here, I went from side to side to do the shading. And the next one, I'm going to go up and down. And that's what's fun is, with a stamp, I can stamp this 100 times, and every time I can just color her a different color. Instead of making her dress purple, next time I can make her dress green, or I can make her dress pink. And the same thing with her socks, just change it out. And I don't do cards, but I'm going to be using these on scrapbooking layouts. And where Halloween is, this coming week, I'm definitely going to be using all the little characters that I colored in the last couple months. And I'm going to make sure to put those on Lexi's and Mason's Halloween pages this year. Now, I have to say, if I'm working on a page and I think, ooh, that would be really nice to have this stamped image on this page, am I going to stop the page that I'm making, take half an hour to color that image, and then finish my page? That would not happen. When I start on a task, I like to finish it. And that's the one thing I love about scrapbooking, right? Like I think when I did cross stitch, or even now I'm doing diamond painting, it is months and months, and even for me for diamond painting, years before I finish a painting, because I don't put 4 to 5 hours per day, on a diamond painting. I'm lucky if I put an hour and a half a week on a diamond painting. The last 3 weeks I haven't put any. But on a scrapbooking layout, I know I go in there and I just get it done. And the same thing with these. I make time now to make sure that I'm coloring these little characters. I'm putting them in a dot journal, and then when I'm ready to use them, I can just go open my dot journal and then go, yes, this little girl is done, and I can just pull her off and put it on, in my page kit, and then when I'm putting the page together, boom, I just have a cute little character that I can add to the layout. And these, markers, I've had them for years and I would use them, but maybe, once a year. And now I'm making it my mission to use them every year. So the first part of this, I use my Copic markers, and now I'm going to use my Ohuhu markers. And guess what? The exact same thing happens. I'm going to work on this character for a little bit, and I end up having to trash it and start over again because I end up, it does that feathering, and I don't know which paper I had, but it was definitely not my hammer mill. And so I'm just showing you here that, man, I had to go and get another piece of paper and stamp it out and start it all over again. And I ended up cutting most of that out because it was basically the same coloring as the beginning. And then I just go back to where I'm doing the hair again. So let's talk about the colors that I used for the Ohuhu markers. So the face was R18, R19, and R20. The hair is E380, E400, and E310. The cape and shoes are CG00, CG02, and CG5. The dress and bow is V230, V250, and V270. And the socks are R9 and R12. Now, I have to say that you can tell I use way less markers when I'm using the Ohuhu markers because I find it harder to find colors that blend well together. One thing that has saved my butt is that I did download the charts for the Ohuhu markers, and I kind of sampled them out or colored on the chart, the sample chart, because I don't find that the tip of the marker, like the cover, really gives you the correct color that it actually colors. So it is worth it to take the time, because it does take time to do that, like color out every single color, but it is 100% definitely worth the time. Now this is where I said for the cape, instead of going from left or right to left or left to right, I'm going up and down with my shading. And it was kind of nice to be, to do it two different ways, and it really makes the cape really look different. And the last thing that I always do, and I always do it right away, because if I don't do it right away, then all of a sudden what's going to happen is I'm going to end up with a whole bunch of stamped images that are stamped, and then they're not put in here. And then I know in this dot journal, everything is nice and safe. I write down the colors that I used, and it just keeps everything just nice and neat. Instead of just, choosing a container that I would just put all the images in, and then, if I wanted to use it, I would have to rifle through quite a bit of them. Like I'm already at, 20. This is like the 20th image that I've colored. So that would mean there would be 40 of them that I would have to rifle through. And it would just make it hard to find them. But that's it. That's going to complete this color with me. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. If you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.